Hello, welcome to episode 21 of Soccercraft. In between episodes, I've been really busy. I got my first few streams under my belt. We did a bunch of work on stream. Actually, let me stand where I think I started. So from approximately here over is all of the Nether Hub area that I cleared out while on stream the past few days. I think I streamed probably about 5 to 6 hours total. I had some trouble on my first day with the internet. I have new internet where I live, but that's not important. I have a few things in today's episode that I want to work on, and if you guys are interested in catching a stream, make sure to go over. I'm going to link my Twitch account in the description, but let's get started with this episode. And last episode, we made our super smelter for the Kyoshi Island base, but I still don't have a good way to provide this super smelter with fuel. So right now, this super smelter can't be used because I don't have enough coal. Well, actually, I guess I still have some coal in the system, but I can't do any big batches, and that's what super smelters are made for. So I need to figure out a fuel solution for this super smelter. And when thinking of fuel solutions, there's a lot of things to choose from. For example, you could go with the lava bucket, which allows you to smelt, I think, about 100 items. The block of coal does 80 items per block of coal. Dried kelp block, I think, does about 20, and then it keeps going down through the list. And then you could even go ahead and use some of your wood items, like I think a log of wood does about 4 items, and a lot of these down the list here do about 1.5. And then I think 1 stick does 1 item, and 1 wool does 1 item, and I think it's 2 bamboo does 1 item. So there's a lot of stuff to choose from, and what I'm going to choose as my fuel source today is going to be the bamboo. And that's because the reason that bamboo is so little in the fuel department is because you can farm a lot of it very fast. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a bamboo farm that directly feeds into the super smelter to keep everything fueled. But bamboo also makes sense for a lot of other reasons. For example, a lava bucket may be able to fuel the most amount of items, but you can only put 1 lava bucket in at a time. Same with the boat. I think the boat does somewhere, I think it's like 6 or 8 items, but you can only put them in 1 at a time. Coal I'm not using because I have to go and manually dig that out of the ground right now. I don't have a farm for this. Kelp is also a great option, but then I would have to craft it all up and put it in the furnaces myself. I do not have a lot of blaze rods, and I do not have a blaze farm, and the coal is the same thing as before, and I don't want to use any of my wood. So bamboo is the definite option today. So I'm going to grab this, and let's actually get started making this farm. So for this farm, we're going to use one of the new features for 1.16, and that feature is we are now able to use bone meal on our bamboo to grow it. So what I want to do is have a dispenser facing into the bone mealing it up, and then we're going to break it off and collect it all into hopper mine carts and send it off towards the super smelter. So I started to build up 3 modules, and as you can see, I have a floating grass block with the bamboo on top and a dispenser facing into it. Now I just need to build up some clocks to control the dispensers, and then I want to build up a glass tube around where the bamboo is going to grow so that when it breaks it falls straight down, and then we're going to be able to put a hopper mine cart below here, and it's going to be able to pick up all of the bamboo that falls on top of the grass block here. So I went ahead and I built up this comparator clock, and then I thought, this is the comparator clock that I always use. I wonder if there's another design I can come up with, and this is what I came up with. So this comparator is going to tell this sticky piston to push this observer over, and when two observers are looking at each other like this, they create a constant output, and then that is actually a lot here. Let me just show you. It's actually a lot faster if we step back. You can see based on how fast the redstone pulses are flashing, how fast the bamboo is going to grow. So by using this other design over here, we're going to have a little bit of a faster output on this farm. Actually, you know what? Scrap this idea. I've got another idea. So my new idea is I want the super smelter to tell this farm when to turn on. So I'm going to create a redstone line coming from over here to tell me when this area is going to be completely filled up with bamboo. Whenever this area is filled up with bamboo is when the farm is going to turn off, so that whenever we do start running low on bamboo, that is when the farm will turn back on and fill itself back up. Did that last clip even make sense? Here, I put the redstone in, so now I should be able to explain it better. So what I meant to say is over here, down here I have a comparator detecting whenever this chest fills up to a certain point, and then it sends this signal up here, and this turns on the farms. So whenever it is full, it will turn off, and whenever it needs more bamboo, it'll automatically turn itself back on. I just need to make sure that it keeps stocked up on bone meal. Oh. And for this to work, I needed 2 pulses to come out of this observer. So what I have here is a dropper shooting this iron trapdoor up into this hopper. The comparator will detect it, and the observer will send out a 1-tick pulse. And then the hopper will then send the trapdoor back down into the dropper, and it will change the state of the comparator again, sending out another 1-tick pulse. And here, I'll just simulate so you can see what happens. You can see what I needed was it quickly to go up and come back down back to where it was. Let's quickly simulate that again. Just like that. That's what I need in order for this top one to also 0-tick the observer into place. And up here we have a similar idea to the last design with the observer clock. We just have a sticky piston pushing this observer into place, and from below we power this sticky piston with a 1-tick pulse with this observer here, and this redstone line creates that 1-tick pulse. Is 1-tick pulse starting to sound weird to you too? Anyways, let's get started with the piston breakers that are going to break the bamboo. And once again, this is going to be pretty simple. We just need a single piston, a building block, and an observer. So we're going to come over and I'm just going to build up a few blocks, and I want to put my observer facing in towards the column. And we'll grab our building block and put it behind the observer, and we want to put a redstone dust on top of that, which will make it a little bit easier for us to place the piston. We want to place the piston facing forward, and that should be everything that we need to actually, do we want the piston to be below? I think we might want the piston to be below. Yep, I was right. I want the piston to be below because that way it will get noticed and then break. So that way we don't break all of it, you know. Actually, maybe I should move the piston lower. And yeah, I was right. I should have lowered the piston. So what I have here is this observer is going to notice when the bamboo grows past it, sending the signal down towards the piston here where it will break, and then all the bamboo will fall down here. I just need to actually make this glass tube up a little bit taller. And this is what that looks like. I finished up this tube, I made it a little bit taller, and I moved the piston down 1, and I copied that over to the other 2 segments. Now all we have left to do is sort out how we're getting the bamboo from here into the storage system. So what we're going to need to do is use a hopper minecart to be able to pull the bamboo through this block and send it off to this hopper over here. And that should be everything that we need for the hopper line, sending all the bamboo towards the super smelter. Now we just need to sort out a hopper line feeding all of the dispensers with bone meal. And I think this farm's complete. I just need to fill that up with bone meal, and I'm going to unclog the system now. Actually, is there any bone meal in any of these? Alright, I'm gonna remove this for now until I'm ready for it. Okay, so I want to come down here and unclog this. So I noticed that when the observer was powering the dispenser, it was also powering the piston, and it was putting it into an endless loop. And I just want it to be powered whenever the observer gets powered. So I moved it up one block and I copied that over to the other modules. So now I just need to go and collect more bone meal because I don't have enough bone meal to fill up this farm, and it needs to be completely full of bone meal to work. And I went ahead and filled the machine up, and now to put the manual override on, I just have to click this twice, and the farm is now running. Let's have a look from the front. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Is bamboo escaping outside of it still, or is it all? Nope, looks like it's going good. And we have bamboo running through the system. Let's check how it's going down here. And yep, we have bamboo flowing into the system. Now I'm just curious to see if we have enough bone meal to fill up everything, or if I'm gonna have to extend the bone meal chest area. So I ended up making the tubes that the bamboo grows in taller because it was popping out the top, and our storage system is not keeping up with the rate of the bamboo that is coming through. So I'm gonna need to figure out a different solution for getting this bamboo over to the super smelter. And probably the best way to do that would be water streams. And on the bright side, in those just few seconds that I was running the farm, we've already filled up the super smelter pretty far. We're probably about a quarter of the way through, and I wasn't even running the farm for I think a full minute. And now I swapped the hopper line out for a water tunnel, and let me just swim down here. I have it so that there's two droppers, both with their own separate clocks. The other clock is underneath here, so that whenever the items come down, they'll fall into this minecart, which will be spread out between these two hoppers because the minecart's just over this hopper just a little bit. So it spreads it out between those and gets all the items out of there as quickly as possible so that it has enough space to keep collecting more bamboo. Down here I changed it up so that one of these hoppers in the middle, I believe it's this one, is the one that tells the comparator on the other side that once it's completely full to turn off the machine. So that's what's happening right here. And I'm going to consider this bamboo farm to now be complete. We now have all of the bamboo down, filling the super smelter so that we're ready to do any smelting that we need to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and smelt up a batch of green dye and make sure that I have enough green dye to keep on making cyan dye for my nether hub. And now we should be stocked up on dyes for the foreseeable future. And now the next thing I want to do in this episode is I want to have a look at this AFK room I made in the last episode. And you can see that I found my record. So now we're able to use this jukebox, but my problem is I think I got like the worst record there is. I want to see what other records. Oh, no, I need to stop this song. I want to see what other records I can get, and I'm going to make a record farm. But not just any record farm, we're going to have some fun with this record farm. So I've come down to one of my beacon mines, and I think this is the perfect spot to put a record farm because it's a spot where you don't mind to have mob spawning. And obviously for a record farm, you need mob spawning, because we're going to need a skeleton and a whole bunch of creepers. And that's because there's two ways to get records. You can either find them in abandoned mine shafts and chests, or you can have a skeleton shoot a creeper. And what you need to do is you need to get a skeleton trap. So you need to build up a mob trap like this one. So this is just 4 sticky pistons placed around a bunch of blocks with a pressure plate in the middle. And once something goes in the middle, it pushes up and they get stuck. So I'm going to go out and see if I can get a skeleton to spawn around here and see if I can lure him over there. Okay, looks like I got him. Good. We'll block him in place. Ooh, I forgot to get a name tag. He's gonna be gone by the time I get back. Luckily, I had a spare name tag in my ender chest. So we have our skeleton friend trapped in here. And I made another one of these mob traps, but I don't have the pressure plate in position yet. So I can lure a creeper, walk through here, and then place the pressure plate before the creeper gets on there. So there's a few creepers walking around here, so I'm going to try to trap one. Come on, just the one. Yeah, this is oh, why did a creeper have to spawn over there now? Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, we now have our creeper stuck in place. Now, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Okay, so now if I open up the skeleton here and stand behind the creeper, he should shoot at the creeper and we should get a record out of it. If he could hit his target. Okay, and yes, we got a record. I'm gonna cover him back up. Get rid of that pressure plate, and we have a new record. But this isn't the record farm that I want to make today. There's a more fun record farm that is using TNT that I saw on Reddit that I really want to try. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up, and then we're going to collect a whole bunch of creepers. And here is that version of this farm. So we have a pit here of waterlogged slabs, and all of them have hoppers underneath that lead to this chest. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the skeleton shoot through here, and his arrows are going to catch fire. I'm going to put a little bit of TNT above here. Whenever he lights the TNT on fire, it's going to fall below. I'm going to close him up. The TNT is going to fall below and kill all the creepers, and it's going to count as a skeleton killing the creepers, so that means it's going to drop a bunch of record discs. Okay, so we got our first set of creepers in here. I have 3 creepers. I'm going to do a test run now, and we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna actually put that there, and let's open up this hole for this guy, get his attention. Shoot me. Oh. There we go. Let's see if this works. Did that drop? Yes, it did work. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to collect up a few more creepers, do this a few more times, and we'll see how many record discs I can collect. And after 2 more explosions, and I think it was about 9 or 10 more creepers, I almost have a full single chest full of music discs. Now I just need to take these music discs back over to the base, and maybe I should get some more creepers. I'm going to take these music discs back to the base and test out them on the jukebox and see which one has the best tunes. And now those music discs are safely stored away in my AFK room. Now I just need to give them all a listen and try to figure out which music discs I like the best. But I'm going to give those music discs a listen in between episodes, and then in the next episode, I'll let you guys know which music disc is my favorite. I want you guys to tell me which music disc is your favorite. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below. And this is where I'm going to end today's episode. We got a whole lot of work done today. We got the fuel situation sorted for the super smelter, and we made a really cool record farm with the skeletons, and I got to get really good revenge on the creepers by blowing them up with TNT. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next episode. Water Tribe out.